In this video, I'm going to show you the fastest and easiest way to get long shots in Modern Warfare 2. So the very first thing that you want to do before jumping into a game is make sure that whatever weapon you're using to get long shots with is built for bullet velocity, damage range, accuracy, and recoil control. These are obviously going to be really important since with long shots, we're shooting people from a distance. We want to make sure that our gun's not moving and that we're doing as much damage as possible. The next thing you want to pay attention to is your optic. This is very, very important when it comes to getting those long shots. There's two that I really recommend. One being the VLK scope. This is a really popular one used mostly in Warzone, but when going for long shots can make a huge difference. The second scope that I recommend is the X10 Angel. I believe this one's located literally right next to the VLK scope when you're selecting your optic. This shows you the distance that you're aiming at. So if you're aiming at a wall or a tree or a player, it'll show you on the side of the scope how many meters away it is that you're aiming. So you can kind of set up your long shot distance. If you know that it's 32 meters at minimum to get a long shot with the AR, you can scope in and make sure that you're 32 meters away so that anyone that you kill in that distance is going to count as a long shot. So that's a really, really useful scope to use. Again, a lot of these locations like Shoot House, this middle lane, is pretty much a guaranteed long shot all the way to the other side. So it doesn't matter too much if you use that scope, but it is a good one if you're playing on any other maps. Now, the last thing you need to make sure that you have on before you jump into a game is your field upgrade. The ammo box is so useful. You're going to run out of ammo really, really quick, especially while going for the long shots, just because you're shooting a lot of bullets to take somebody out, and you're probably going to miss a lot as well. So having that ammo box is clutch and allows you to stay in that one spot. A lot of times you'll be bodying people in the same spot getting those long shots, and then you run out of ammo and you're screwed because you have to move, and then you miss out on some long shots. So having the ammo box will help significantly and unfortunately allow you to camp longer. So make sure you have the ammo box as your field upgrade. So the first mode that I highly recommend you play is the Shoot House 24/7 playlist. This is one of the best maps to get long shots on, as all you have to do is kind of sit in the back and watch that middle lane. Shooting people on the complete opposite side is long shot distance for any weapon in the game, including the snipers. So the Shoot House 24/7 playlist is probably your best bet. Now, as good as Shoot House is for getting long shots, it can be difficult with some of the weapons, including pistols and SMGs, considering you're at such a far distance using a gun built for close range. So for these guns, I recommend playing hardcore, or what it's known now as tier 1. This is a really, really good option, as it'll be 1 or 2 shots to the head, you'll take somebody out, makes it significantly easier. I would recommend playing something like hardpoint, mainly because you can set yourself up at a distance far enough away from the hardpoint to get those long shots, and everybody in the game is going to be gravitating towards that area. If you play something like TDM or Kill Confirmed, you're generally going to have players spread out everywhere, coming up behind you, doing this and that. But with hardpoint or even domination, you know where the enemies are going to be going, so it's easier to set yourself up for a long shot range to get those long shots a little bit quicker. So with pistols and SMGs, I played tier 1. I highly recommend you do the same. For everything else, do Shoot House. You'll knock these long shots out really, really quick. Now, the last playlist that you can try out if you're not having any luck with either of the first two is playing Invasion or Ground War. Obviously, these maps are huge, and pretty much any distance on this map is a long shot. The only downside is you do waste a lot of time trying to find players because the map is so big. You've got a lot of people sitting on rooftops, so it can be a little bit slower, but it pretty much is a guaranteed long shot from every distance on those maps. What I would do is jump on top of a building and just kind of wait for people to run by you, try to push into their spawn and get on a building. It makes it a little bit easier, but this is kind of a last resort. I don't recommend you immediately just jump into Ground War Invasion. It can be useful with the snipers. I would say Shoot House is the best option with snipers now, but prior to Shoot House being in the game, Ground War Invasion was the best way to go. But again, I would just use this as a last resort. You don't necessarily need to play Ground War or Invasion. Now, the last tip that I have for you is actually something I think is really useful, and that is to remember that the long shot distance for each class is different. So the snipers are obviously going to be a way larger difference than the pistols. You don't necessarily need to be as far away. So keep that in mind when you're going through different guns. If you're using pistols, you don't need to be on Shoot House shooting people all the way on the other side. You can be a lot closer and knock out those long shot challenges. I'm actually working on a long shot guide for all the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer maps so that you guys can see the best places to post up to get long shots on each and every map. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if that's something that you might be interested in. But these are the tips that I have for you in this video. If you guys have any other questions about getting long shots, or you have any other pieces of advice that you've used to help you get these challenges quicker, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be sure and try to help some of you guys out. But I appreciate all the love, man. Thank you guys for the support. I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.